back in this, in the session from 7:14:25. So we need a motion to suspend the rules of procedure to add the following agenda items. Text amendment 25.07.01, FY 2026 resurfacing contract, and discuss Veterans Day event. And then something, Alex's email that I wanted to add. All right, let's just do that. So can I get a motion to do, suspend the rules? All right, motion by Laurie,
I'll second.
second by Stephen. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All righty. So, Max, you up on the text amendment? Oh, Katie?
Okay. All right, so this is text amendment TX 250701, where staff is proposing an update to multiple articles in the Stallings Development Ordinance. Yes, sorry. This amendment will improve clarity and consistency of our existing standards, and it will also ensure that our development ordinance remains user-friendly for residents, developers, and staff. For each amendment that I go through, the black text is what's written currently in our ordinance, and the red text is for the proposed new additions to those articles. We're going to start with Article 2.13-7C, where staff is changing the wording concerning swimming pool requirements to better explain the fence guidelines. We've had several residents confused about these when they're applying for a pool permit. And also in Article 2, we have added a new section to highlight the current definition of family. And in Article 3, we've updated the definition of family care home to include a half-mile separation radius between any home that meets our ordinance's definition of a family care home, which includes sober living homes. And this is pursuant to authority in GS 160D-907. And this is the maximum level of enforcement that the town can impose upon this type of use. And in Article 8.4-5A, we've removed a duplicate sentence about parking. In Article 8.4-9F, we've corrected the reference to open space requirements, where it originally said Article 2, supposed to be Article 21. In Article 8.4-9G, we have removed the reference to an image because that image does not actually appear in the ordinance. And then in Article 9.2-2A4, we've clarified the language of the location of accessory structures. Article 10.1, we are proposing to edit subsection A of all of the listed sections. Currently, they all individually list out the zoning districts where these standards apply, which makes it very difficult to update every time that the table of uses is amended. By changing this to a blanket section that just refers them to the table of uses, we won't have to update these sections after every amendment. And then in Article 17.6, there's a typo that says it's 17.7, so we're just correcting that. And in Article 17.8, there's two typos, so we corrected both of those numbers to refer residents to the correct section. And staff does recommend approval of TX 250701 because this amendment works to enhance the clarity and usability of the Stallings Development Ordinance while also maintaining the effectiveness of this ordinance. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
All right, thank you, Katie. Anybody have any questions?
Katie, what did you say, I think on one of the first articles, you said that's the maximum that the town can enforce?
In Article 3 for the definitions.
Okay.
As in, the state has certain regulations that won't allow us to impose any other enforcement over this type of use. Like, this is the maximum that the town can do at this level.
Okay, we can't go higher than, or whatever than the state. Okay.
Correct,
got it.
yes.
Under the swimming pool's self-latching device, that doesn't mean a lock, does it? It just means self-latching?
Yeah, just like one of those simple like pull locks, that's on a normal swimming pool gate.
Thank you.
It's actually him.
All right, any other questions for Katie?
Just the accessory dwelling units, is that like a mother-in-law apartment? What does that mean?
So yeah, that one is an example of the change that we're doing to Article 10. It's actually a lot of different articles within that, but I didn't want to list out, like 30 different articles. So I just did an example of where in the black part where it says A, that's what it currently has, where it lists out all of the different zoning districts that these standards apply to. And we're going to replace it with just a general statement that says, refer to the table of uses to see where these standards apply. So it doesn't actually change where it's allowed, it just makes it simpler for us to not have to go in and change each of those little standards every time we alter the table of uses.
But what are the accessory, what is an accessory dwelling unit? What does that mean?
So it can be attached to the home or separate. It's just kind of like, yeah, like a mother-in-law suite, like you said, or just a separate addition where it might have a kitchen or a kitchenette where someone else can live other than the primary residence. Yes. There's some additional requirements for those, but they're allowed.
All right, any other questions? Can I have a motion to, on text amendment 25.07.01 with the amendments recommended by staff?
Can we
May-
include the statement of consistency and reasonableness at the same time?
No, she always,
Always
remember,
separate?
she always
Mayor,
does.
may I suggest we open the public hearing, please, sir?
Oh, this is a public hearing? Oh, okay. All right,
Okay, just, you can just open it and ask if anyone wants to speak and then close it.
all right. Anybody wish to speak? All right, I close the public hearing. So any further discussion? All right, can I get a motion on the text amendment?
Make a motion to approve text amendment TX 25.07.01.
All right, motion by Mr. Shoal,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Ayers. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. All right, thank you, Katie.
Mayor, if I may add, one parts of that was related to some of the requests we had from residents recently regarding the family care facilities. And now those are limited in no more than within one half mile of each other. But they are allowed otherwise. The town has implemented, per our land use attorney, the maximum controls that we can on that kind of use. Mr. Strong, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Sure.
Yeah, and then I'll come up.
Okay.
Oh, you want us to do this and then you'll come up?
Yeah, just because it's not technically, I guess, valid until you do the statement of consent.
All righty, so this is the statement of consistency and reasonableness on zoning amendment text 25.07.01. I'll read out the last paragraph. Therefore, now the town council approves the text amendment, finding it consistent and reasonable with the comprehensive land use plan adopted November 27, 2017, as it supports the goals of promoting quality development and ensuring compliance with state land use regulations under North Carolina General Statute 160D. The council concludes that the amendment aligns with the key principles, objectives, goals that outlined in the plan for the following reasons. The proposed text amendment addresses complex development standards and works to help maintain a clear and effective development ordinance. One, the proposed amendment fixes repeated phrases, incorrect references, and ensures our ordinance remains user-friendly to residents, developers, and staff. Can I get a motion on that? By Laurie?
I'll second.
Second by Stephen. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you all.
Yeah, thanks. I just wanted to make sure before I talked about the half-mile radius that it was valid. So, as Katie mentioned, in 160D, the maximum distance a family care home can be from another family care home that the town can enforce is a half-mile radius. We can't go above that. We can go below it, but we enacted the half-mile, which is the maximum. So now the town can require a specific use permit for family care homes, which the staff will be drafting soon, so we'll just have a separate permit for that. So additionally, we'll be issuing inquiry letters for any proposed family care homes or, similar, like sober living facilities with code enforcement. So we'll just be inquiry letters. We cannot enforce periodic inspections. That's something the town cannot do, but we can inquire, which we would do
What does
so.
that mean exactly? Just out of curiosity.
Can you repeat your question?
Yeah, just what does that mean exactly? What would
No.
that include?
Inspections?
No, the inquiry letter.
Oh, just a letter asking them what their what type of use of the property they're doing. Because we suspect that we know most of the properties that are interested in doing family care homes. We'll be sending a letter asking them what the use that they're doing on the site is. If they don't respond, then we'll just continue with code enforcement and complaint-based complaints from residents to go out to those sites and document. But we can't really do anything unless we have evidence
Yeah.
that they're running a specific business. At this time, also, no homes in town have a valid permit for sober living residents, family care homes. We don't have any at the moment.
Did they need them before we did this? Did they need a special use permit?
Group homes need a special use permit, but family care homes only needed a use permit, but nobody submitted a use permit, a valid use permit. So nobody's vested with the half-mile radius. And additionally,
You say nobody's vested, grandfathered,
correct,
so there's 3 in one neighborhood, only one will continue?
only if they're a half-mile radius.
Oh, then that.
So wait, there's none that are allowed currently at all because they didn't submit a permit. So that's the next step is for code enforcement to reach out.
So is that half mile okay with the state? Do they, is it,
For this 160D, yeah. Per the state statute 160D.
oh, state statute, okay.
But if the use materially changes, or if they change their rental type, we can require additional permits or we can revoke the permit. And then additionally, we may bring back this to council again just to explain it further. So I can do a little bit more research on how this text amendment has affected the ordinance in the town. Because since this is the first day that it's been enacted, I can't really provide research or updates, right? And the residences of the neighborhood have requested an information session, per se, about this. And so it may be back at a future meeting to explain it further. Because this right now is not formal enough because it hasn't been enacted long enough. Only a few minutes, right?
Okay.
So,
So if the state put these people in, sober living, we can go and say, you don't have a special use permit, you have to go back to the town?
So whatever you're doing on your site besides living a residence, so if you're doing a family care home or anything similar, you do need a use permit. But that's for 6 or less individuals. Once it goes over 7 or more, then you need a special use permit, which is a town council approval and it's quasi judicial. So then they have to do findings of fact. So that's the difference.
Okay, what I'm asking is, there's already, I don't know what you said, a sober living house. How can we, if the state already is doing something, how can little town of Stallings say, no, you can't do it, you need a special use permit?
So the state, I don't, as far as I'm aware, just has rules in place. They're not doing any action. We have state statutes that we've changed our ordinance to follow.
Yep.
So now we're enacting it as the town in our ordinance. So we're enacting what we just adopted pursuant to the state statute. That's allowing us to allowing us the powers to do so.
State
I'm trying to,
creates the framework, and then we can add meat to the framework, basically. So the state statute kind of is the framework, and then we can kind of apply things on top of the framework where it's specified.
Still not understanding the special use permit.
that's for 7 or more individuals.
Okay.
This specifically is for 6 or less.
Oh, everything is for 6 or less? We didn't touch the 7 or more?
We cannot do that. That's dictated by state statute.
Okay, so the 6 or less needs a special use permit. They don't need it.
Just a permit, use permit.
Okay.
And now they are required to be a half-mile radius in distance. Per the text amendment, yeah.
Any other questions for Max? Got anything else for us?
No, that's it. But yeah, I'll probably be back to kind of explain a little bit more in detail, just because it's we're gonna be doing a lot of things, after the fact, now that that text amendment's adopted.
All right. Thank you, Max. All righty, resurfacing contract. Justin, you got this? All right.
Evening, Council, Mayor. I'm here to present our fall resurfacing project. Staff seeks your approval to award the 26 resurfacing contract to Red Clay Industries and an increase to this resurfacing project budget of $1.2 million. Late June, staff put out the project to bid, and we received 8 bids. The lowest responsible bidder was Red Clay Industries, who submitted a bid of $911,000. Year over year, asphalt prices have gone down from $130 a ton to $101 a ton, so that's where we get a little bit of our extra funding there. As part of that contract, we are allowed to add 25% more work onto it, so we could take advantage of the lower prices that we got from Red Clay. As you guys know, that Town Council approved a budget for road resurfacing of $1.25 million, and due to some anticipated contingency carryover from 2025, we were able to have another $500,000, which increased our budget to $1.75 million. The current project is 2.2 miles of roadway, but with the increase of 25% on top of that, we're expected to get about 3 miles of roadway to be done this year. Which, with that budget, we're still able to do a $550,000 spring preventative maintenance as well. So we're gonna do the 1.25 and then the 500,000 spring maintenance project. So today, staff requests that you guys award the contract to Red Clay Industries, and that you approve a not to exceed budget amount of $1.2 million. That includes contingency.
And we've done business with Red Clay.
Yes, sir.
Right, any questions? Get a motion to approve this contract as submitted?
Servicing contract for 2025.
All right. Motion by Brad,
I'll second.
seconded by Stephen. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. All righty, thank you. Veterans Day event. David and I were talking, and we were just throwing out some ideas on things we could do. And, Mint Hill has a Veterans Day breakfast. Indian Trail has one, so we don't have a VFW, which makes it easy for them to do because both of those have VFWs and we don't. So we just threw it out there to, maybe we have a Veterans Day breakfast. I don't know how we'd advertise it or how we do it, but we were talking about doing it at the hospital at their place. So be thinking about that. I asked Alex to talk to Eunice to see if what the feasibility is. Can we pay for it if the hospital would do it? I haven't talked to Seth Goldwire yet. I keep missing him about whether they even host it, but he hasn't turned me down on anything I've asked him yet, so we'll keep asking. So does anybody have any questions, concerns, or about hosting a Veterans Day event?
Just one thing is that, I mean, I think the staff are all off on Veterans Day, right? Okay, so,
Yeah, we have to do it on another day.
okay, all right, I got you.
Yeah, I don't know when they host their breakfast. I think they host it on a Saturday.
Okay.
All righty, well, we'll talk to Eunice and get some ideas and bring it back to you. But the one thing I forgot, and I'll mention real quick, it's not on the agenda, so we can't take any action, is the letter we got from Alex on the John Deere property, our broker. He's still fixated on it, wants a brewery, but be thinking about, let's tell him, a church wants it again, an athletic organization, I'm just, I'm a businessman. The first guy that brings me money. I do a lot of business with him. And so I think we just ought to tell him to expand it, bring us those opportunities, let us decide whether we want them or not him. You know, that's what it sounds like right now. You know, he thinks we've told him, oh, we'll focus solely on a brewery. So I say, bring us every opportunity. We decide whether we want it or not. I mean, might not want a church, might not want a baseball facility, training facility or not, but that's my opinion. So I'll put it on the agenda for our meeting in August. So, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
Brad and Ayers, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank y'all.
Hey, kind of on the same thing as the Veterans Day,